welcome. Today we're going to talk about a special event that happened at El Modena High School right before the graduation. Stay tuned and let's talk about that. I got so far. Back in the day, we had a lot of motocross racers that were very good. We had Jim Gibson, who was the #2 supercross rider in the United States. We had great riders like the Gilman brothers and so many more. I have no idea, but El Modena was blessed with good riders. The summer of 1990. Does anyone remember OCIR? Stands for Orange County International Raceway. And they had high school supercross races every week. And El Modena sported a team of really good motorcycle racers. And I'm sure we won the championship. We just were flooded with racers and motorcycle riders. I don't think anymore, but back in the day, they had lots of racers. And we had a tradition at El Modena. Does anyone remember what the tradition is? We will talk about that. The tradition at El Modena was at the end of the school year, at the very last day of the school year, all the motocross riders would crash the gates and they would raid the school and ride around in the hallways. Sometimes there'd be like 100 motorcycles, and that was the tradition at El Modena before. The bikers would like ride around for 5 or 10 minutes and then they would leave, and everyone would just love it. And so in my high school graduation year, I will tell you how I participated in that event. If you want to tell, we'll be just fine. Being that I was a famous Division I Speedway rider, I did not ride motocross and I did not have a motocross bike. And I told the motocross guys, I'm gonna do it. And they're like, no way, you can't do it. And I said, I will do it. If I want to, I will do that. And they said, but you don't have a motocross bike. And I said, I don't care, I'm doing it. So I think it was like 10:15 was the nutrition. And all the riders had a schedule that they were gonna crash the gates at 10:15. They brought bolt cutters, and I guess the school knew that they were going to like crash the gates. And before, a few days before that time, the principal came out and announced that you will not be crashing the school with motorcycles. And if you do, you're going to not graduate from high school if you're a senior. So beware. Do you want to graduate, or do you want to be a thug and not get your diploma? The big day came. It was 10:15, nutrition time. I had my friend drive me in my van and we went to the back of Fred Kelly Stadium. I had taped my name with duct tape so nobody would know I was a secret weapon. And I had my friend start me. We push start the speedway bike. And as I was driving out, all the motocross riders were coming out at the same time. So I basically joined them from the other side of Fred Kelly Stadium. They used to have a hallway there, and I used that for my escape route in my van. So I'm driving out there and all the riders are out there. It was really fun. I mean, it was a big spectacle for like 5 minutes. About 3 minutes actually into it, the riders and the motocross riders, they left. And I was all alone. And I said, I will give these guys a show. I'm the only one left. So I decided that I would give everyone a show. And if you want to. And I'm going fast and I'm doing speedway slides on the baseball field. I have like 1,000 people watching me. I love the show. I love the attention. So I'm doing wheelies along the perimeter near the nutrition line on the grass, and everyone's loving it. And then all of a sudden, the principal comes out, and vice principal or principal, and starts chasing me. And actually, I had stopped the bike, and I started the bike, and then he's chasing me. And just as I got the bike started, he's reaching for me. And as he's reaching for me, he fell on his face. And I started the bike and everyone's cheering, yay, Brian got away. Brian got away. And so I took off. and I start riding around the baseball field and doing wheelies and doing slides. The whole school was cheering for the Bumblebee, and I just stayed for like 5 or 10 minutes more, just riding and putting on a show, doing wheelies, and everyone just loved it. And the principal, who fell on his face, he was mad. He was really mad. And I'm just like laughing my butt off, and I'm just like, yeah, yeah. So I finished my ride and I drove back to where the van was parked, and my friend threw the bike back into the back, and we went back home. And then I dropped the bike off real fast in my garage, and I went back to my third period class, and it was a history class. And I sit down and I'm there in the class, and everybody's looking at me like, I saw you like 5 minutes ago. And I was in my clothes and nobody knew who I was as far as I thought, but everyone knew it was me. And so I'm sitting there and I get a letter or a little slip going to the office to the principal. It says, you must go see the principal. And about 10 minutes later, I'm in the principal's office. Principal is looking really mad at me, and I'm like, oh. And he said, I want to talk to you about today, what you did. And he said, I know that was you on the motorcycle. Even you taped your name. I know that was you. Don't deny it. So I want to ask you this question. Was that you that rode the motorcycle ride at Nutrition? And I looked at the principal and I said, yes, sir, that was me. I must tell the truth. And he's shocked, because, you know, most kids would say, no, it wasn't me, it was someone else. And I said, yeah, because I knew that if you got caught, that would be no diploma. So I told the truth still. And he said, really, that was you? And I said, yes, sir. I said, I just was having some fun. It's a tradition here at Elmo, and I wanted to not cause any trouble, but I wanted to enjoy and put on a show for my peers. And he said, okay, well, you know that you're gonna not get your diploma if you ride the motorcycle. And I said, yes, sir. And I said, I didn't do any wrong, though. And he said, yes, you did. You disobeyed our order. And I said, I'm so sorry. And I said, please forgive me. And he said, you're going to graduate. So the principal says, you're graduating with your class. Enjoy the graduation, and there's no violation. Have a good life. And he shakes my hand and he says, goodbye. So that was the end of my El Medina days. I got caught. I turned myself in, and then he said, you're forgiven. Now get out of here and have a good life. And I said, okay, I will. And I had a great life so far. And that's the story about the motorcycle. And I turned myself in, and he still gave me my diploma, and I have that diploma. And that was my end of my days at El Medina High School.